Becoming the best version of yourself, I know, can be challenging. If you're searching and you're trying to figure things out, that task can feel overwhelming. You're not sure where to start. You don't know what the process is. How do I become the person that I want to be? All of it can be very confusing. So here's my story. At around 14 or 15, I made a decision that I was going to be an NHL hockey player. Because at the time, I'd made a club volleyball team, and their practices conflicted with my hockey team's practices. So my parents had to sit me down and say, look, you have to choose between the two. You can't do both. I remember thinking, well, there's no professional volleyball league, so I guess I'll go for this hockey thing. I had no idea how I was going to make the NHL. I'd never really been in the gym before. I didn't know what it took to be a hockey player. I just thought it'd be a really cool thing to be. So I literally had no idea where to start. But then I remember there was a player in my small town that was already playing in the OHL, which for you that don't know, it's an elite junior hockey league, maybe the best junior league in the world. Now, because I knew the family, in fact, they own the local sports store, so I was in there frequently, I asked them a couple of questions. If I don't know how to become a hockey player, the questions were simply, hey, how does he train? What does he eat? See, if I was going to be a hockey player, I needed to know what to do. So they said to come back in a few days. They'd have it all written out. I went back. There it was. His meal plans, his exercise program, everything I'd need to get started. So then I just got to work. I made the necessary changes in my diet. I got the workouts going and things. I was now living as a hockey player. I didn't need to figure things out. I just needed the recipe. I just needed to know what steps to take in order to get a similar result for myself. So herein lies the lesson. If you can identify someone who's living the life you'd like, or they're accomplishing things that you'd like to accomplish, you don't have to go blindly into the world and try to figure things out. In fact, doing that, you're likely to repeat a lot of the same mistakes they made. So save yourself some time. All you need to do is follow the path that they've created. For anything you want to accomplish, there's a recipe out there. You don't need to try and figure it out. You just need to follow the steps for the goal that you want to achieve. But first, you need to know which path to follow. And that starts with identifying who you're going to model. Who's that person out there that you'd like to be like? For me, it was that local hockey player that was already on his journey. I figured if I just did what he did, I should get a similar result. And this goes for any achievement you want. You model the model, and you should get similar results. Maybe not exactly the same. I mean, after all, you have gifts that they don't have, and they have gifts that you don't. But overall, the recipe should net a similar result. It's like going into the bake shop and you see a beautiful cake and think, I'd like to make that cake. So the baker hands you the recipe. You put all the ingredients together, you follow the recipe step by step, you're going to produce a beautiful cake. Maybe not exactly the same as the baker, but it should be close. So if you're lost and you're trying to figure out how to become the person you want to be, or to achieve the goals that you want to achieve, find your model. Find that baker who'll give you the recipe. Sometimes we make things harder than they need to be. The path is already out there. Find it, and you'll find your happiness.